probably look even more crazy than I already do.
You look fine, darling.
Thank you. But,
all right, welcome back to MoMo on the Move. Today we have my special guest Joshy here today.
What's up, guys?
Don't mind the shades; they're my new favorite shades right now. So I decided
I think they're dope.
to stunt on the on the pod and on the tube. All right, so let's give a little intro to Joshy. Joshy and I met at a concert like very recently.
Yeah.
We're newfound besties. Kindred spirits, one might say.
Absolutely.
So we met out here at a concert, an EDM show, okay, and
it was dope.
It was dope.
Etc. played too. Right before,
it was a great time. I was shaking my ass. I was having a great time. But you know, like EDM, and I went with Sterling. And
from what I hear, he's not much of a dancer.
Not much rhythm there. He's a white boy. But so when I saw Joshy on the dance floor, I was like, oh, he knows how to dance. Because like Spanish music came on, I was like, oh shit.
I hear music and I have to move.
Yes.
Being born and raised Puerto Rican families,
and then I knew he was Puerto Rican, and then I could tell he had the East Coast vibe. It was like instant connection, and we're also Capricorn, so it was like
absolutely.
We were bound to connect. Anyway, so let's hear about your hustle. Like, what made you come out here to LA?
Yeah, so I came out to LA to pursue a career in entertainment, like most people do. For me, though, it was mostly like on-camera work, acting, and then I was also interested in like writing and producing on projects as well. Just because I have kind of dabbled in that realm when I was younger, like writing for like writing contests and like stuff. It was stuff that always interested me.
You have a creative.
Yeah, I've been attracted to the arts at a very young age. Music and entertainment is just a really big thing in my family. My uncle is a successful musician in Puerto Rico. My mother was a dancer and singer. Went to high school with 50 Cent and Ja Rule.
Oh wow! That's
and, like,
fucking cool.
Yeah, knew.
Fun fact.
Or had danced with Jennifer Lopez when they were younger and stuff.
So your mom's pretty poppin'.
Yeah, so it was always something that was close to us, and always something that I was raised to really appreciate. And so I moved out to LA to like have my go and see where I was going to end up. It wasn't necessarily coming out here and I was like, oh, I'm going to be a famous actor, I'm going to be a famous writer.
Yeah.
Movie star or whatever. I was just like, I want to pursue entertainment. And,
whatever comes first, I guess.
And whatever shape, way, place that takes place or that happens.
Yeah.
I was just ready for an adventure, really, and I wanted to kind of see what I had. You know.
To the table.
Yeah, and gotta come to the city where everything's popping.
Fair enough. And you came from where?
Bronx, New York.
Year.
You
should have been on our Bronx Tale episode, but it's okay. And like, how old were you when you came out here?
When I moved out to LA, I was 18.
Wow.
I was 18 when I moved out to LA.
That's young.
From Jacksonville, Florida, and I drove.
Wow, so you did
drive across the country.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's on my bucket list. It's gonna happen.
It was awesome.
From California to New York. Or
I recommend doing it when you're not moving, so that way you can take your time and really appreciate the sights and not feel rushed. But still got to stop in a couple places.
What was your favorite?
Tombstone. So Tombstone is a movie with Val Kilmer and many other famous actors. One of my favorite Western movies. But it's an actual place based on historical events that happened. Or the movie is based on historical events that happened at Tombstone.
Okay.
So went there, saw where like all the famous shootouts happen.
And where is that?
Tombstone, Arizona.
Arizona.
I want to say.
I hear great things about Arizona.
I mean, Tombstone is one. So
there we go. Now I have.
that was my favorite place.
I have something to check out while I'm
sure.
out there. All right, and how long? So you said when you were 18. How old are you now?
I am 26 years old now.
So it's been a while.
About to be 27.
So it's been a while.
Yeah.
And like, how hard was the transition for you coming out here from New York at such a young age? Did you know anyone here? Like,
I knew.
what like was like the bug that made you just like, all right, I'm out?
Well, I always knew because I moved from New York to Florida, and then from Florida to here. While I was in Florida, I was still going through high school. And I just knew that I was not staying in Florida. I was either going to go back to New York or go to Miami if I did stay in Florida, or go to LA. Like, go to these really big cities where entertainment is...
Happen?
Yeah, and entertainment is a very big part of life and work.
Yeah. It makes things fun.
Yeah, it has a lot of potential opportunities.
Right.
So I was like, I'm always going to get out of here. I just don't know which city is first and when am I leaving. But I made the jump, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to go to LA because everybody says everything starts and ends there. So,
well, it's been fun. It's been fun so far.
It's been an amazing adventure.
It's been great. I can't complain. I've met some pretty cool people out here, like yourself.
Like you.
So how do you compare the hustle from New York to the hustle in LA? I mean, it's also different, I guess, since you were younger. It's different mentality.
But yeah, different mentalities, different kind of like ways that the cultures operate in the two separate cities. But as far as the hustle specifically is concerned, it's difficult to say. I mean, it feels like New York is always on. It's like we are the city that never sleeps, but it's not just because of partying. It's like people are still working until like...
It's like you're leaving a party,
from
you're
9
seeing
p.m.
someone go to work.
to like 5. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
And so it's kind of like you're always going to...
Always on the go.
Try and make your... Sorry about that.
It's okay.
You're always going to try and like get your piece of the pie. You're always trying to fight for what it is that you have already, you know, the comforts in life.
The competitiveness is definitely way more intense in New York.
I would say intense in a different way because the competitiveness in LA is
for entertainment especially,
else.
Yes.
It's like people come to LA to pursue their wildest dreams.
Yeah.
They come here to, like I did, see like what they can make of themselves, to prove to themselves or to anyone else around them that they do or don't have what it takes. Or they discover something completely new about themselves and pursue that instead and see where that takes them. But competitive nature in LA is a little bit more shady.
Yeah.
I would say it's more shady in LA because there are some people that are great or some projects that you start out working on that are great that turn out not to be so as time continues on or as different things start happening. Whereas in New York, a lot of things that happen you can take at for face value. Yeah. Because even if it comes off as brash or
it's straight up
rude, like it is, like New Yorkers have the reputation of coming off as assholes or rude because we are just honest. The part that New Yorkers may not realize is that like you don't always have to be too blatantly honest, but you know, for better or for worse, like that's the way we operate. So yeah, I would say just like both cities are highly competitive, just in different ways. Yeah. The New York competitive nature is intense and always on, whereas LA is like very shady, but like there is diamonds in the rough. There is gold that you can strike, and like there are still people to this day that just get lucky, like booking a first project or creating your first art piece or gig or whatever it is that you do, and it goes off, people get hear of it and you can blow up. So it really just is how bad do you want it and how much time are you willing to put in.
If there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
All right. So, like, what are you doing out here?
So my day-to-day career, I work in the gaming industry.
Mm-hmm.
I work as a social media manager and content producer for a marketing agency. But my specific job in that marketing agency is in the gaming arm. So I book clients who hire me to either consult them or curate their social media pages for gaming products or brands or new releases.
That's dope. And, like, who are your biggest clients right now?
So my biggest client right now that I can say is NetherRealm Studios and Warner Brothers with Mortal Kombat 11.
Oh, dope.
Having a lot of fun working on the social media pages for that. If you guys are Mortal Kombat fans and you follow our social media pages, thank you.
Check out Joshy. I'll put a link to all his stuff in the description, as always.
But yeah, if you are a gamer, like fighting games, and you haven't played Mortal Kombat, check it out. If you're a fan, thank you for playing, and I hope you're tearing it up on ladder. And good luck with Combat League, because I am not having any. I'm not that great at the game, but I do enjoy it.
And like, what made you go into this realm? Because, you know, I mean, it's entertainment.
Yeah.
But different from like acting and writing and.
Yeah. So, kind of like what I was saying earlier, just
how did you fall into it?
Coming out to LA, I was open to any form or avenue of entertainment because I was obsessed with it all. Growing up, I had read comic books, watched anime, played video games, and like Saturday morning cartoons are a big thing. But also like had a love for like movies and film and music and art. And so moving out to LA, like I pursued many things and kind of fell into gaming by chance. I met someone at a gig that I was working, kind of like a promo gig. It's a freelance job that I was just doing to make some money.
Okay.
And he had heard that I was a big gaming fan and was somewhat of a voice actor. I had voice acting representation, and they were like, "Well, do you want to come in and like kind of just do some free reads for us?"
So you did voiceovers.
So yeah, like free voiceover or voiceover auditions where you kind of just do like the background characters that you hear in like
characters
cartoons, like "Whoa" or "Hey, look at that" or like stuff like that. And I did that. They liked it, and they were like, "Hey, why don't you read for this character?" And I was like, "Okay." Ended up being for a side character that ended up being in Mass Effect Andromeda. And I didn't get the part. I didn't book it, but I found like there is so many avenues in gaming that I just haven't explored before, and like this is such a cool community and cool way to like pursue entertainment. And of course, at that time, like because of the rise of social media and how powerful it became as a communications tool, and how like kind of gaming and nerd culture were like being risen to the top.
Collided.
Yeah, everything kind of just meshed together
social
perfectly.
Media has brought a lot of collaboration with different medias and avenues, like just like because it's like that's just the way to promote your shit.
Exactly.
It's the avenue.
And like because all that happened, I kind of just like talked more about all of this stuff that was happening on social media and posted, and people started to get more interested. And like the more nerdy gaming stuff that I posted about what I was doing, people started contacting me more. It's like, "Hey, I didn't know that you were involved with this. Like, we're trying to write for this like indie game, or we're trying to get motion capture for this game," and stuff like that. And so I kind of dabbled in a little bit of everything in the gaming industry while still posting on social media. Eventually, like got to a point where things came to a lull for a bit, and I was like, all right, well, I've discovered that I really like working in gaming. Entertainment for me was taking a little bit of a lull, so I was like, let's see what gaming opportunities are out there for me, and started seeing what I can do at like an entry level like social media position or entry level like office position at these gaming companies.
Nice.
And kind of worked my way through a couple of companies and partnerships. Worked with Riot Games, League of Legends. Worked with a startup called Super League Gaming that hosts competitive esports tournaments all over the United States. Did a little work with Activision and Blizzard on Call of Duty.
You've done quite a bit.
Now at the marketing agency that I'm at, doing Mortal Kombat.
There you go. When you also do stunt work, did you not?
I have done stunt work.
Wasn't that like your bread and butter when you first got out here?
It was. So I did a lot of licensed precision driving, which that's a lot of the things that you see in like car commercials.
Like Fast and Furious?
Like Fast and Furious.
So you were like the driver?
So a lot of the things that I would do was like desert drives and drifting and stuff.
Dope.
So like the stuff in the car commercials where it's like, this is a closed track, do not like, and you just see people like power sliding in deserts. That's
did you ever like get in an accident by? I guess that's why they pay you the big bucks.
I never got in an accident that I wasn't supposed to get into.
Okay.
So I'll say that.
Heard.
But I also did martial arts, and that led me to doing a lot of like fight choreography for projects. A lot of also like free running choreography because I did parkour and tricking. Part of my martial arts training was in XMA, and that involves like a lot of acrobatics into your movements. And parkour was always just like an interesting, parkour.
Like that's how you have to say parkour.
It's always been so interesting to me, and how bodies move so fluidly, and how like people can.
Yeah, I'm
jump.
so like not graceful, and I would fall on my face. And
because of the XMA training and all that stuff, I was like, well, that doesn't seem like too far from what I already do.
Right.
Like, let me just try these like climbing mechanics and like a lot of like physical training. It was actually a lot of work. But if you are ever interested in getting into parkour, do it because it's a lot of fun. But that is how I made. Are you still doing parkour? I still train lightly. I have sustained a couple of injuries, and plus age is a thing. We all get old. I'm starting to realize now.
But you're a baby still.
I am a baby. I can't go as hard. I am 26 years old.
He's lived the life already.
I can't go as hard as I used to because I damaged my body a lot while I was younger.
I'm right there with you. My liver hates me.
Me is just my bones. Martial arts, stunts. I have sustained a couple injuries, dislocated joints, shoulders, sockets, broken bones. But
I don't know if I would continue if like I broke all this shit. I'm like, medical bills are not cheap.
Yeah, but when you need money, and they're offering you a couple grand to like light yourself on fire, you're like,
I guess.
All right, like. How safe can we make this?
Are my eyebrows? Your eyebrows are.
All right, cool. That seems safe enough. This paycheck now seems worth it.
Okay, fair enough. So, what other side hobbies do you have? I know music is big because that's how we met.
Yep. DJing is my biggest side hobby.
Okay.
I also still do like promotions for events. Still host parties.
When did you pick up DJing?
DJing, I picked up, I want to say, a little over a year ago. I've always been in love with music, and while I was still in New York, I had friends that all were, of course, like into like rap and hip hop and like producing beats and like freestyling on the corner.
Right.
So growing up with that influence, like I've always had a love for music. And then got to mess around in the studio when I was younger, and then kind of rekindling that love being out here in LA, meeting up with friends that I had made that had started to become quite successful in their DJ career, and are booking local shows and starting to do tours. And through that group of people, I kind of fell back into like DJing and music production and music events and going to EDM shows and kind of like the mechanics of how that works, not just like, oh, we're going to party. Of course, that wasn't. So you studied
it.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, that's like an actor who goes through the movies.
Exactly, it was.
You don't just go to the movies. You kind of just.
It felt very much like I was preparing for an audition that I didn't know I had yet, because I was just.
That's a good way to put it.
Being around that crowd and like.
You need to know what makes the audience hype.
That, but also like reconnecting with the love that I had forgotten that I had for music, and being around that crowd of like people that were so talented in music already and making names for themselves or had already made names for themselves. I was just soaking up everything like a sponge. Like I wanted to just know more. Like of course the party scene is the big draw. Everybody gets drawn to it or introduced to this scene because of it. But every time, even no matter what show I'm at or what I'm listening to, like I'll be in my car just blasting music, parked in a lot with my eyes closed because I'm just like in the music. And just being around those people was just so inspiring that I was like, I have to do this. Like I have to just like try my hand at it, not looking to like become huge, not looking to like, I don't know, become like a world touring DJ. If that happens, awesome. Like I'd love to do that, but it's something that I'm doing right now because I love. It's purely because of the passion and like music.
I can feel the passion. And
music is something that like is very spiritual to me. Like you can put music to anything, or you can change anything with the right song or with the right tune.
I agree.
And
music
also
is very important in my life. I think it just like creates the mood, creates like, and can connect people without like people like don't even speak the same language, but like we can like the same music. Yeah, we connected through music.
We didn't even talk to each other, but
I was just like
seeing each other dance, and we were just on that same wavelength, feeling the music, and we're just like, yes, let's dance. This is fun. This is happening.
Yeah.
And then also just like actually performing a DJ set for a crowd of people is one of the most magical things that you can experience. Like it's one thing.
MoMo. I know.
You told me.
It was a very lower scale.
It's one thing like being in the crowd and like feeling the music and like the bodies next to you and everybody dancing and seeing the lights, but seeing it from the DJ's perspective, just a sea of bodies like
I can only imagine.
Like flowing. It's almost like you're controlling an ocean of people with sound. And like just watching them wave and move and dance and vibe and just it's amazing. It's a magical experience. I know it sounds like
it sounds great.
This guy is like a super hippie, but it truly is. One of the most
very great comparisons.
things.
Let me tell you. But yeah, mine was on a lower scale at frat houses and sorority houses, and I was just like,
everybody gets their start somewhere.
I don't know if I'm going to continue. I don't know. Who knows?
I started practicing by myself in a living room with virtual DJ on a laptop. And now, like, I play at shows and I host parties.
So what's, like, the biggest show you've ever performed at?
I've played at a club. It was at a side room opening for... I forget the artist. No, like, really big name. It was a bigger... Sage Armstrong. It was for Sage Armstrong, like a tech house DJ.
Okay.
But that was probably the biggest show that I had done. I think about 80 to 100 people were in the room that I was playing in.
Okay.
All at once, and it was great. It was great. Just like
I still haven't seen him, so I don't know what he's got.
She hasn't. I want her to come to a show.
I'll let you know if he's good. I'm kidding. I'm sure you are.
we'll do a part 2 episode
A part
where it's
2.
just like, all right,
Him
this
just
is what it's
bumping.
like.
This is his set. We're gonna give a live set on MoMo on the Move.
We'll record some video from my perspective so everybody can
Oh, that'd be
see
dope. I like
what it's
that.
like to control the crowd and the lights
You
come
can
on.
see what the DJ sees.
Yeah,
That's dope.
see the world from my
So what's your
eyes.
name?
So my alias is Trickster.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
Why Trickster?
You know, it started as a joke. I was originally
Like DJing started as a joke, or like the name started.
Yeah,
as a
I
joke.
was kind of just like tossing around, like, I don't know, like how people come up with nicknames for you, like when you're growing up as a kid, like, oh,
like Joshy.
like Joshy, exactly. It started out like people just like describing like attributes. Is honestly, so me and a bunch of friends just got
So you play a
high.
lot of tricks on people.
We smoked.
Are you gonna play prank on me? Is April
I do.
Fool's like your favorite day?
I did. No, it's not, because I've done some very cruel things to
Oh,
people on
God.
April Fools, and they've gotten me back, and I've learned my lesson.
All right, you learned
So
the hard
April
way.
Fools no longer my thing.
Okay.
But yeah, me and a bunch of friends just got together. We were messing around, smoked a little bit, so we were feeling a type of way.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
like we kind of just like started like describing each other, like not like as like a roast or just be like, oh, like this is what you come off as, or like this is what we see from an outside perspective of you. And so people got to me, and like people kept saying like, I don't know, like I'm a big dope, a goofball. Some people say like I could be like a cute, like goofy,
He's cute.
or just in the way that I act. Like,
yeah, you're very cute.
and like it kept going, and like I was like, this is funny. I'm very entertained by this. And somebody finally said Trickster, and I was like, what do you mean by that? Like, how am I a trickster? It's like, no, like you remind me of like Loki, like the trickster god, where it's like you're
I can see it a little bit.
mischievous in a way that's neither good nor bad. You just do things just to see things happen, and you're entertained by whatever
Okay.
happens. And I was very,
like that
I was very
explanation.
entertained by that concept, and so I tried to implement elements of that into my music.
As you should. I feel
So
like
I'll be
that'll
playing like,
differentiate you from the rest.
I'll be playing like a really popular like house track, or like a techno track, or like even like a Jersey bounce, or like a club
Some
banger, and like I'll have a build up that everybody knows and is familiar with, and then I'll just like, to add my little trick element, like I'll go into a drop of like a video game song, or like something from anime, or like just something completely random, maybe
completely
even like
left field.
switch out, like I'll go from techno into like dubstep,
Okay.
and like just take people by surprise and just see what that does to the crowd.
I'm
And,
excited
like,
to see him perform.
entertained by it. So like I just became like, first I was thinking about, okay, well, what about the name Loki, since like you said, like I reminded you of Loki, and then I was like, all right, what are other names for like mischievous? And like I found a few that I had liked, but none that really like caught my attention as much as when they just said like it was one word, trickster, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna stick with that.
Shit, Trickster's playing with that.
Yeah, exactly. So
Okay,
now
okay.
I am Trickster.
So what is like your main genre when you're DJing?
Really, it just depends on the mood. I love every genre of EDM. I love every genre of music, really, except I think country and like smooth jazz. No offense to country or smooth jazz fans. It's just not me.
I love a good saxophone though.
Everybody loves a good
Everyone loves a
saxophone.
good saxophone, right?
Um,
That's why we were at OK.
exactly.
I went for the saxophone solely.
But
And then
really,
I learned etc. was fucking popping.
exactly.
Oh, I was like,
oh
ooh.
man, etc. just gets me every time.
Yo,
Moombahton vibes, just.
Mm.
But yeah, it'll depend on a few things. Like if I know the crowd that I'm playing for, like if I know that I'm going to a club that's really popular
Yeah, I
for
guess you gotta
house
target
music, or
who's there.
if the other artists that are playing are like house DJs or are playing house, I'll probably do something to accompany that, so that way it's all like the entire venue stays on all on the same vibe,
There's a same
but
theme.
you still want to do things that set yourself apart. So if I'm playing at a house venue, I will play like electro house or deep house or something that sounds like me but still fits the venue. Or I'll
So you're very broad.
if I'm playing like
You could do it all.
if I'm playing like a show just for myself,
Mhm.
I guess.
Like, what's your favorite?
I
Personal
love to
favorite?
keep it diverse. But my go-to styles, I would say, are bass house, Jersey bounce, trap, and I'll throw in like maybe a little bit. I'll switch between like maybe psytrance or dubstep. But those are my general styles. That if like I'm playing for me, or if I'm just playing to like practice like my technicals, I'll play it through those styles specifically.
Okay.
Yeah, but I love it all.
He's very easy to please. So hypothetically speaking, if DJ Trickster hits the ground running and people just want to see you buy your tickets, like, would you leave the career that you have now to go all the way with DJing, touring, and all that good stuff?
I want to say yes, but I would really have to think about it.
What would
I mean like in the
deter you?
scenario of like you come up to me right now and you're offering me the opportunity of a lifetime. Like I would have to take a minute to think about it, because that would be like a lot of time away from home. That would be a lot of traveling. But at the same time, like, who doesn't want to like live the dream, try their big shot at a dream that they worked so hard at? So, like, I would say yes, but I wouldn't just jump right.
You need time to think about it.
I need to plan, not necessarily like think of reasons why I shouldn't, but I would just like to plan, make sure I had all my ducks in a row before I just toured for
I'm sure 18-year-old Joshy would be like, yeah,
exactly.
I'm down.
Now I've learned to, take it slow. Don't rush into things.
Okay.
Rushing into things is
fair enough. It can get you into.
It never produces the best results. I'll say that. But yeah, if DJ Trickster takes off, like, of course I would try my hand on my big
What
shot.
like festival show is like your dream to perform at?
I would have to say Ultra. I know
I've heard good things.
A lot of DJs.
I've heard Ultra Miami is
the
another
goal is EDC
world.
For me. It's Ultra Miami because that was my big intro into like major festivals and like
I feel like you do. I feel like you would do well if like the type of music that you're like your genre. I feel like you'd do well in Miami.
Yeah,
like I think you would do very well.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends.
But I need to hear first. Too. I need to pre-approve it.
Yeah, I still need. I'm telling you, part 2.
It's coming soon.
Part 2 will come, and you'll be able to see things from my eyes. I'll be able to play for you and everybody else.
Awesome.
It's gonna be great.
I'm excited for it. Yeah, I think that's all I got for today. This is a short, sweet. It was decent.
I had fun.
Did you have fun?
Yeah,
I had fun. I wish next time we'll give you a little taste of what Joshy has in his pocket, DJ Trickster. Maybe DJ Trickster and DJ MoMo will play back to back.
Maybe.
We could see like what the crowd likes more. It could be a competition. Yeah, it could be fun. The crowd will be sterling.
The crowd will be sterling. So there'll be no dancing.
No dancing.
Just a lot of fist bumping and jumping. But yeah, maybe we'll even get you behind the turntables. Let your audience see what you got.
All right, I have to practice. I don't know how to do any of that, but
I'll show you.
We'll see.
You got
cool, little pointers. All right, thank you for coming on to the pod, Joshy. Right before I'm leaving for New York. Stay tuned for a bunch of New York podcasts coming soon.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It's been awesome.
Of course.
Have fun in New York for me.
For a month, it's going to be fantastic.
You better like FaceTime me or something because I miss it.
I know. Well, we're on Snap, so I got you.
Bet.
All right, so catch you next time on MoMo on the Move.
Peace out, guys.